Imagine stepping onto a ship so crowded you can barely breathe. The air reeks of sickness. Children cry out in hunger, and families cling together, unsure if they will survive the journey. These ships had a terrible name, coffin ships. And in the late 1840s, thousands of desperate Irish families climbed aboard, fleeing a nightmare at home. This is the story of how one of history's greatest tragedies, the Irish Potato Famine, drove millions to America and forever changed two nations. In the early 1840s, Ireland was a crowded country of more than 8 million people. Most were poor farmers who survived almost entirely on one food, the potato. The potato grew well in Ireland's soil and could feed large families on small plots of land. But this dependence was dangerous. If the potato failed, millions would go hungry. In 1845, that fear became a reality. A strange blight, a plant disease, spread across the fields. Potatoes turned black and rotten. The next year, the blight struck again, even worse. By 1847, almost no potatoes grew at all. When food vanished, people starved. Weak from hunger, many fell to deadly diseases like typhus and cholera. Families crowded into workhouses, soup kitchens, or simply died in their homes. One witness described seeing famished and ghastly skeletons, frightful specters as no words can describe, in the town of Skibbereen, West Cork, in 1846. But food was still leaving Ireland. Grain, beef, and butter were shipped to England while Irish peasants starved. Anger and despair spread across the countryside. The British government's response was slow and often heartless. At first, they imported corn and started work projects. But by 1846, leaders believed too much help would make the Irish quote-unquote lazy. One official, Charles Trevelyan, even wrote, "The judgment of God sent the calamity to teach the Irish a lesson." Charities tried to help. Quakers opened soup kitchens. Donations arrived from as far away as the United States, even from the Choctaw Nation, who themselves had faced hardship. Still, it wasn't enough. By the early 1850s, about 1 million people had died, and another 1 to 2 million had fled the country. Leaving Ireland was not easy. Families sold everything to buy passage to America or Canada, but the ships they boarded were overcrowded and dangerous. An eyewitness, Stephen DeVere, sailed on one of these ships in 1847. He wrote, "Men, women, and children huddled together without light, without air, wallowing in filth, and breathing a fetid atmosphere. The fever patients lying beside the ground, dying without comfort, and buried in the deep without the rites of the church." On some voyages, 1 out of every 5 passengers died before reaching land. They weren't called coffin ships for nothing. If you believe your ancestors came from Ireland during the famine years, you're not alone. Millions of Americans today trace their roots back to this time. But how do you begin the search? Start with what you know. Family stories, names, and places. Many Irish immigrants arrived in New York, Boston, Philadelphia, or Canada between 1845 and 1855. Look for their names in passenger lists and port records. Some of these lists are digitized on websites like Ancestry.com, FamilySearch.org, and the National Archives of Ireland. You may find ancestors listed alongside neighbors or relatives who travel together. Irish families often emigrated in groups. Pay attention to small clues. A hometown noted in a ship's manifest could be the key to unlocking your Irish village of origin. For those who survived, The New World was both a relief and a struggle. In just the first half of 1847, over 80,000 Irish immigrants poured into New York Harbor. Thousands more landed in Boston, Philadelphia, and Canadian ports. They arrived sick, poor, and often unwelcome. Signs saying "No Irish need apply" showed the discrimination they faced. Many crowded into slums and shantytowns, working the hardest jobs, digging canals, laying railroads, cleaning houses, or laboring on the docks. One immigrant, Brian Clancy, wrote home from Canada in 1847. "I often wished to be at home again, bad and all as we were. We often wished we never seen St. John." Life in America was tough, but for many, there was no going back. Once in America, the Irish often settled in tight-knit communities. You can trace your ancestors through U.S. Census records starting in 1850, where Irish immigrants are listed by household. Church records, especially Catholic baptism and marriage registers, can also be treasure troves of family history. Many Irish men served in the Civil War. If your ancestor was part of the Irish Brigade, you may find military records with rich details. Obituaries in local newspapers often mentioned the county in Ireland where a person was born, another vital clue. Over time, Irish immigrants built strong communities. They founded churches, schools, and societies to support one another. Their children and grandchildren became police officers, teachers, soldiers, and politicians. By 1960, the grandson of famine immigrants, John F. Kennedy, became President of the United States. In his words, "When my great-grandfather left here to become a cooper in East Boston, he carried nothing with him except a strong religious faith and a strong desire for liberty." Today, about 40 million Americans claim Irish ancestry. Irish music, dance, and traditions are celebrated every St. Patrick's Day. The story of the famine is not just Irish history, it's part of American history too. Researching Irish famine ancestors isn't just about building a family tree. It's about connecting to a story of survival. Many of the people who boarded those coffin ships were your great-great-grandparents, carrying little more than faith and determination. As you uncover their names and stories, you're keeping their memory alive. Visit memorials like the Irish Hunger Memorial in New York City, or the National Famine Museum in Stokestown, Ireland. These places bring history to life and remind us that family history is world history. The Irish Potato Famine was one of the darkest chapters in the 19th century. Over 1 million lives lost. Millions more forced to leave their homeland. Yet from that tragedy came resilience, community, and a legacy that endures today. The Irish Potato Famine was not just a tragedy of the past. It's a story written into family trees across America. By tracing your own roots, you become part of keeping that story alive. The famine teaches us 2 lessons. First, that poor leadership in a crisis can turn disaster into catastrophe. And second, that even in the face of suffering, the human spirit can endure and build new lives an ocean away. From hunger to hope, this was the journey of the Irish famine survivors, and their story still echoes in America today.